Good evening, sports world. For the 30th consecutive season, Florida State football has become bowl eligible. That means Seminole Nation is guaranteed at least a 13th game this season. Of course, this is all because the Garnet and Gold picked up win number 6 in a big Thursday night blowout of Boston College. Now, there's plenty of bright spots from the big victory, and to help us talk about it all, talk about that 38-7 win, let's bring in FSU insider John Crist from NoleDigest.com. John, let's get started. FSU took advantage of the national spotlight. What are your initial thoughts about the game?
Well, I'll tell you what, Elton, if you ask me, it was all about the freshmen. It's amazing how good this Florida State team has played the last couple of weeks, and it's still an incredibly young roster. Lots of freshmen, lots of sophomores getting on the field and making big plays, especially these true freshmen. Usually you want to redshirt these guys and give them a little more chance to season, but look at this. Last night you had Austin Barron starting at center, Bobby Hart starting at right tackle, Devontae Freeman and James Wilder Jr. in the backfield. Nick O'Leary was your leading receiver at tight end, and maybe your best true freshman, it was Rashad Green, didn't even get a chance to play. We've already seen what he can do. Offensively alone, it was amazing how young and how good this team has been.
Now, John, what about E.J. Manuel? Seemed in complete control.
He was in control. I thought the play calling was a little bit choppy. I know he ran the ball a little more than most Florida State fans would like to see. He took a little bit of punishment, but let's face it, he's a 6'5", 245-pound young man. He knows how to take some punishment. It was only 16 passes last night, but he was efficient. He got in the end zone. He showed he can still run the ball a little bit. I thought he did just fine. Not his sharpest game, but just fine.
Now, let's show you a few stats from this big game. FSU dominated just about every category. What is the stat that really jumps out to you as the key to victory?
Well, if you go inside the numbers for the rushing yards, I know BC got 94. Remember, 25 of them were on that freaky quarterback draw that we saw from their backup quarterback that came in. But for the most part, the defense was really efficient on first and second down. BC was stuck in third and long all night long. And when you give this Florida State pass rush up front with guys like Timmy Jernigan and Bjorn Werner, Brandon Jenkins, all that time, they pin their ears and go back at the quarterback. There isn't many offenses in the country going to get a chance to move the ball consistently.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Of course, the Noles are going to be bowl eligible, and we'll talk to you again next week when they take on the Canes. We'll talk a little bit about that. But, of course, the big weekend matchup, orange and green in the capital city. FAMU Rattlers have a 6 o'clock kick at Bragg Memorial Stadium. You can believe Coach Taylor has spent the past 2 weeks getting his team ready to take care of North Carolina A&T. Rattlers are in a 4-way tie for 4th place in the MEAC.
Anytime you can get extra film work in, you know, it helps the mental side of it because, you know, you really want to evaluate and see what the tendencies are.
And let's quickly flash back to last night's high school football main event. District championship on the line between undefeated Godby and the Wakulla War Eagles. Neither team had lost a district game going into the matchup, and Coach Scott Cleese and the War Eagles were not scared at all. They pulled off the 24-21 upset to win their first title since Nigel Bradham was walking around on those Wakulla sidelines. Nigel Bradham, C.J. Holden, and all of them. So congrats to Wakulla. Both teams, though, will make the playoffs. Take a look at your fishing game forecast. Peak times on the screen, 6:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m. Get out there and get after it.
All right, E.G., thanks.